for this particular creation in my life, it was a miracle kind of situation that made zero sense beyond my understanding and conscious awareness of what could be possible. This is the Miracle Zone. Hello and welcome to the Miracle Zone podcast, where business leadership and frequency align. And today I'm going to dive into the difference between miracles and manifestation. Now, there's many things that are different between miracles and manifestation, but I want to go into one of the main things, one of the main distinguishing factors that I think is so important to understand because it really affects how we're playing in each world. And so I'm going to jump right in and think about where in the body these are happening, right? So first of all, I think they're all happening in the field, in our energy. And in terms of the initiation of it, I really see manifestation being connected to the mind. So a lot of the things that we're doing when we are working with wanting to manifest something has a lot to do with what are our beliefs, what are our intentions, what are we visualizing. Maybe we're even journaling about it to make sense of our thoughts or what we're weaving into the space. What do we really want? What do we really want to call in? So there's a lot happening up here in this almost visionary space of what is it that I want to call in, that I want to tuk pluck into the 3D, right? So that's how I see that. Whereas for miracles, it's quite different because one of the main distinguishing factors of miracles is that they make no sense. They make no sense. I always say that all the time. If somebody's, was it a manifestation or is it a miracle? And I was like, does it make sense? So I'm gonna use an example just to make that a bit clearer, right? So I want you to imagine that you are a caterpillar. And you are a caterpillar that loves personal development and personal growth and really wants to manifest their dream life. And so picture this, it's a new moon outside, and you as this caterpillar are thinking, wow, it's a new moon, it's a new cycle, it's a powerful day to set my intentions and manifest some amazing things for my life, right? And so this caterpillar, you, the caterpillar, you grab your journal and maybe you light a candle and maybe you have some crystals or whatever your process is. And you begin to write out your intentions for this next coming moon cycle, right? Using this fresh new energy of the moon cycle, of it being a new moon and what's coming. What do I want to call in? What do I want to experience? What do I want to feel? What's my intention? What are my goals? Right? So if you picture yourself as the caterpillar, you might be thinking, I really love when I find these really thick, juicy aloe leaves. So I'm setting the intention of abundance and I want to have more aloe leaves in my space. I want to find a whole field of these plants. And I just want to gorge and eat as much as I want. I want abundance. And then you're this beautiful caterpillar is thinking, wow, I would really love some companionship. I'm a little lonely here, munching by myself. I want to manifest my dream caterpillar partner that I can cuddle with at night, spoon, go on long walks, and we can have these feasts of aloe and other fine, yummy delicacies. And I want to have that in my life. And I want to be safe. I don't want any birds to come and eat me. So I want to manifest also protection in a beautiful place where I can live, where I'm safe and protected, right? I don't know. Think about it. If you're this caterpillar, what else would you want to manifest? But you would be manifesting things based on what you know from your current awareness, right? What you know as a caterpillar living a caterpillar life. I just thought of we're living in a material world, except it's a caterpillar world. Okay. I'm having too much fun. So you are imagining the most abundant, lush, caterpillary things that you can manifest. And so you're writing them down in your journal, and you're so happy that these are out there and that these will come into your world. And then you'll be winning. And you manifested it, and you're living your best caterpillar life. And then maybe it's not all it's cut out to be, and maybe you don't like aloes after all. And you wish you manifested something else to munch on, right? Regardless, I think the important part here is to think of, okay, the caterpillar is coming up with ideas based on what they know in their lived experience, based on what they've observed, based on what they've seen around them in the caterpillar world. In the caterpillar world. And so, yeah, they're working in the mind and the visions and and they're doing a beautiful job. They're manifesting fantastically. They might be the number one manifesting caterpillar of the world. They're killing it, right? And then one day they get this instinctive urge to maybe stop moving around. What? This was not part of the plan. And to start getting into a cocoon. What? This isn't fun. I want to keep eating. I want to keep spooning with my caterpillar girlfriend. Right? I want to keep enjoying the sun, but no, I'm being called into this cocoon and into this chrysalis. What? And goop. And oh, this is not comfortable. What did I do to deserve this? I didn't manifest this. What is happening? What is happening? It's not happening from the head. It's coming from a calling into a thing, into a path that makes no sense, A path that we didn't think of as a possibility. We certainly didn't choose. Who would choose that? We just want to live our best caterpillar life. And yet we're in this goopy chrysalis, just unbecoming without knowing what's on the other side in our conscious awareness. Our cells know what they're doing, but in our conscious awareness, we did not manifest this for sure. And then all of a sudden, one day, we emerge from this chrysalis, from the cocoon, and things feel different. And we look a little different. What's going on? All of a sudden, we realize we have wings. What the heck just happened here? This is not part of the plan. I don't have no problem with it. I'm still going to figure out what do I even do with these things? It's so new to me. It's beyond my realm of understanding, my realm of possibility. It makes no sense. Why do I look different? Why do I have wings? What just happened? What just happened? What happened is a freaking miracle because it makes no sense. Because I literally was not this before and now I'm this. I had no idea I could be this. I didn't journal about it. I didn't light a candle about it. One day I want to be flying in the air as a butterfly. What? My head could not concoct this. as a manifestation. Because why? It makes no sense. It's not a logical, linear, I don't see it in my realm of possibilities. It's beyond. And so this is obviously a metaphor, but in the way that we create in our lives and what we experience in our lives, this is the vibe check for miracle or manifestation, right? So I think we do both and we experience both. And you'll hear me talk a lot about miracles because that's what I love. I love to focus on how to create miracles in the snap. Not even create miracles in the snap, just they appear in the snap because we don't create them. It's really different than manifesting where we're intending and then there might be a manifestation formula or equation and we doing all the things and we have our process that we know if we do this, then we'll manifest that. The miracle doesn't. It follows no form or reason. So an example that I always share in my personal life is music and how for me, and this obviously would be really different for somebody else, probably for most people who release a record and create music, at some point in their life desired to do that. Maybe as a little kid, they already knew one day I'm going to be a musician. Maybe they're like my son who just spends hours on the computer. He doesn't do a little bit of that, but he spends hours on the piano, just playing, and he's got a natural skill for it. Everybody's, oh my God, he has so much talent. Is he taking classes? It was there. It's something they do. It's part of your life. If he becomes a musician and releases music, nobody would be surprised. Nobody would be surprised. But for me, that was never me. I was always a dancer. I love music. You'll find me dancing to it. I can't sit still. Almost all kinds of music. I love music. But there has never been a bone in my body that wanted to create music, to write music, to release music, to stand on stage and share music. Maybe stand on stage and dance. Actually, I did do a lot of that, but never to create music, right? And so when that came into my field as a possibility, it came out of left field. I was not expecting it. I was not looking for it. I was not journaling about it. I was not intending to do that thing. If anything, at the time, I was considering maybe I should write a book. Maybe I should write a book. I remember I was thinking about that. I was like, I feel like there's going to be a book eventually. Maybe now is the time. Maybe that's the thing I want to focus on right now to bring into the world. It's a book. And then when the opportunity came to record music, it like bumped up against me and it was like, hey, there's an opportunity here to record music. You should do it. Like I felt in my body, I should say yes to this invitation to come and record music. This is an invitation actually that I was scrolling on Instagram and I just happened to see Sri Kala, who at the time I didn't know at all. I knew of him and his music. Just literally saying, come to Sedona and record music at a music recording retreat. I think it was like a 3-minute video. Out of left field, I happened to watch that video. I don't know why. And he's talking about recording music. I'm not interested because, again, not a bone in my body wanted to record music or thought I ever would or could or should. And I just listened to it. And as I listened to that invitation, something inside of me said, you need to be there and you need to record some music. To which I was that caterpillar. What? Say what? That's not on my, that's not in the plan. I didn't write about that. I'm not a musician, just like I don't have wings. And still I felt that instinctual moving forward. And luckily, I know myself enough and how creation and life moves through me and speaks through me. And I know just how important it is for me to listen in those moments, even when it makes zero sense. Because I know it's when that happens, when it makes no sense, that there's a possibility of a miracle there, right? So without planning or intending or anything by the light of the dark moon journaling, I think it was 3 weeks later, I found myself there recording music, even though I hadn't written a single song in my life, even though I knew very little about music, even though I remember I was there with Shrikala and Jay Brave. They're both producers that were supporting me and have since supported me with other music. And I remember she's saying, this would be a really beautiful place to do like some harmonies. And I just looked at him and I'm like, great. How do I do that? I don't even know what that is. That's how not there I was supposed to be. Okay, I'm a caterpillar. All of a sudden I have these wings. You expect me to do what with these? Go where with these? I don't even know what wings are. I don't even know how to harmonize. So this is my unique situation. Obviously, there's people who manifest that and plan that and crowdfund for that and dream of it their whole lives. And they have tons of songs they've been working on to release their first album. And I have so much respect for that. But for this particular creation in my life, it was a miracle kind of situation that made zero sense beyond my understanding and conscious awareness of what could be possible for me to do. So I wanted to make this distinction. And again, there's many other differences between miracles and manifestation, but for me, this is super central. I wanted to make this distinction because even though it seems really simple, the implications are huge. They're huge because we spend a lot of time, especially in this kind of new age spirituality space, manifesting and what life am I wanting to create and manifesting. Nothing wrong with that. And can we equally, if not more so, I like more so, but at least equally, spend intentional time just cultivating this pure receptivity, which is non-directional, right? It's not, I want to go there, I want to call that, it's unattached to anything. It's just receptivity for receptivity's sake. An openness to receive what is coming that I can't even imagine, what is possible that I can't even imagine, and to let that drop in a snap, to let the miracles drop in a snap. Can I cultivate that brand flavor of receptivity that's just pure openness to what is of the highest good, of the highest potentiality, of the highest service, of the highest elevation, of the highest evolution, of the highest to come? Because if I had been busy trying to manifest a book deal, I would have missed that pure receptive space, that mind-numbing scroll space that I was in actually on Instagram, where I saw that invitation and I felt there's something here. I can't put my finger on it. And nevertheless, I'm open to it, even though it makes no sense, even though I don't know how I'm going to fly across the ocean in 3 weeks as a full-time single mother with a kid in school, even though I'm not sure how I'm going to pay for the flights and all of that. Not because I don't have the finances available, but because it's literally in 3 weeks and there are other destinations for the funds, right? How is it going to show up? And I have a funny story for how that showed up. I'll tell another time. But there was new money that just popped in to make that possible, right? And I am such a strong stand for creating more of this space for miracles and being receptive to miracles in our lives. Because then we are open to receive the most fantastical things that we can't even imagine. It could be the most fantastical relationship. It could be the most fantastical business opportunity, right? It could be the most fantastical miracle baby, right? These are things that when I work with my clients happen all the time. The business miracles, the baby miracle, the relationship miracles. Everybody gets a miracle, right? But only if we're cultivating that receptivity and working to be in the frequency, in the miracle frequency, where we can catch those miracles, where we are resonating with that specific miracle frequency. Not that we need to be doing anything and intending and this, that, and the other, but like a tuning fork, right? That comes into the space and we will get it to go. And the miracle frequency is vibrating in the space. Love and above, 528 hertz. And we are attuned to that. That's all we need to do is inhabit that field. So I'm going to pause there and leave you in that exploration and to notice in your life how much time you're thinking and focusing and attention you're giving to manifestation and how much you are spending on attuning to the field of miracles and being in alignment with this miracle frequency without attaching to what can and will and could and should come in. Thinking that your human brain, even though it has free will, knows better somehow of what's out there and available for you, as if Source, as if Goddess, as if Great Mother didn't have a grander vision for you than you have for yourself. What we can come up with in our human brain is like peanuts. It's peanuts compared to what we're capable of doing, right? I love some peanuts, don't get me wrong. But give me the whole peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? So sit with this exploration. I'm hoping that you will fall as in love with and be as enticed into creating more of spaciousness and delight in being in the miracle zone, working with the miracle frequency, and less time efforting and intending and doing all the things to do all the things, to call in all the things, to manifest all the things. And that can be really simple too. I'm not saying it needs to be complicated, but as I mentioned before, it's just a very different way of creating. Because when we're manifesting, there's that lag between what I'm envisioning and wanting to create and it arriving, right? Sometimes it can take a while. Sometimes it can be really quick, very fast manifestation. Sometimes it can feel like instant manifestation. When it's coming from the miracle side, it is done before you know it is doing. It is done before you know it is doing, before you even realize, before even I realized that I was going to be creating music and becoming a recording artist, it was already being done before I even knew it was doing. So I wanted to let you know as well that the Miracle Frequency Immersion that I lead every year is happening at the end of May. And the doors are opening for that. And so I'm going to include that in the links. I invite you to check it out because this is exactly what we're doing. We spend a whole week attuning to the miracle frequency, really anchoring into it, really setting that as our baseline operational framework from which we function so that we are even more strongly anchored into that space. So it's not going to be a space of manifestation. It's going to be a space of calibrating our field to miracle so they can drop in like this. And this is what starts happening. It's amazing. It's only a week long, but already I think by day 2, oftentimes, or day 3, people are sharing all of their different miracles that are coming and landing. It's very fast, very fast. And so that's a journey that we go on to see what of the mind do we need to let go and release, what beliefs, what conditioning, what is keeping us still thinking that if this, then that, what formulas have we learned and come to expect are part of our creation way that maybe are outdated. To me, manifestation feels like really old technology. It's like really old. It's like, why are we still doing that when we can just do this? And it's an exploration of that. What do we need to release here? What energetically do we need to work with? Most of all, it's a doing of a nothing. It's a doing of a nothing. And allowing the sound, it's the primary thing that we work with. I work with sound to fine tune this instrument to the miracle frequency. You get to just lay there. You get to just lay there and let it be done. There are some journeys also that we do, of course, as part of the undoing of the subconscious programming. So we'll work with some hypnotherapy. We go into the Akashic records. So there's some doing, subconscious undoing that's happening. All right, my love, I invite you to check that out and to lean into this miracle space more and more in how you create. And I will see you next time. Thank you for tuning in to the Miracle Zone. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a transmission. And if today's episode and conversation resonated, leave a review and share it with a fellow visionary leader. In the links, you can access my free Miracle Business Blueprint, the 7-part framework I use with my clients to create a thriving, scalable, and self-sustaining business that gives you more freedom, not less. Plus, you'll receive a guided process to identify where to focus first so you can spend more time leading in your miracle zone right away. Let's build the new as a collective for the collective. Together, we're not just creating miracles, we're living them. Until next time, stay in the miracle zone.